I got myself a new lapel because I lost my microphone. So life is hard on YouTube, guys. Hey guys, it is Mimi. Welcome back to my channel. The energy today is top tier. Okay, so before anything else, let us get into today's comment shout out. You know I love doing this thing. So my favorite comment for this week or my last video is shout out to Easy Nation Entertainment and shout out to Joey Cinco. Thank you guys for commenting, and to everyone else commenting, I really appreciate it a lot. So without any further ado, the sun is going down. Great. Let's get started. Okay, so today's video is a little bit controversial because we're talking about, can Filipinos wear braids? Or at least can other people who are not black people wear braids? We're going to be dealing with cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. So how do we know the difference? What is cultural appropriation? Ang daming nagtataka, okay? Ang daming Filipino na nagtataka, pwede ba ako mag-braids? Gusto ko mag-braids, pero I know, and I'm a little bit worried if this is, appropriation, or this is not appreciated or accepted by black people. So I'll try my best to explain this. My views and opinion do not affect the views and opinion of majority of other black people, because this is my own experience and just from literally what I feel. Okay, let us get into it. First of all, appreciation. You know what? I'm not gonna pretend like I'm the smartest person on here. Let's go to Google and know what is cultural appreciation. So we're getting our facts straight, you know what I'm saying? Cultural appreciation is when you earnestly seek to learn about or explore a different culture. So literally, this has to do with you wanting to really learn about someone's culture. Like, you really learn about it because you want to understand the culture and the beliefs. Not really because you just want to hop on a trend or you have a fetish for a certain black person. Oh, I'm wearing braids because I want to look like Beyonce. Let me chill first. Let's get into what is the meaning of appropriation. Cultural appropriation is the unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of the customs, practices, ideas, etc. One people or society by members of another, and typically more dominant people or society. So basically, I think appropriation equals to conflict. So example, this is an easy example, a chopstick. We all know that people who use chopsticks are like Asian, like Chinese people, Korean people, and we know they use it to eat. If you take a chopstick and you decide to use it to clip your hair, or decide to use it to scratch your ears, or make it like an cotton bud or something, you're abusing that thing. That you're making conflict with the original purpose of what it was intended to be. So that's what some people do. They will get a certain culture, a certain attribute from a culture, and then use it for their own personal purposes, even though it wasn't intended to be for that purpose. It's quite complicated. But a lot of appropriation is not just about black people or about braids. It's really about every other culture. But they said there is something what you call dominant and minority. So they consider the black community is a minority. So you cannot take something from a minority and turn it to your own thing, because again, that is disrespectful. To make it more easy, because I know a lot of you are like, ano sinasabi niya, ha? Nagugulan ako, ano, pwede ba akong braids? Eto, wait lang, dating tayo doon. For me, personally, as an African who also, I know that it's part of our culture to really wear braids, and not just because of aesthetic purposes, we normally, to be honest, Nigerians, Africans, we don't find it offensive. Like, growing up in Nigeria and seeing how people react to it, they actually are amazed, and they appreciate when people wear braids because they feel like, wow, you are actually really, you're embracing our culture, and you love to flaunt what we have. And we don't find it offensive at all. We actually love it more. Like, when we see someone with braids, we're like, yo, hey, like, oh my God, wow, cute. And then we have the black Americans. I had to classify it, okay? Because again, people forget that Africans and African American, they're all different. It's different cultures too. Though we have a lot in common, but our cultures are really still very different. But black Americans don't really like when people appropriate braids, because a lot of white people do appropriate braids. I'm sorry to break it down to you. In Africa, most people who wear braids that are white people, I don't think they really do it for appropriation purposes. They really just appreciate it. But like a lot of white people or a lot of other Asians or something, they appropriate braids a lot. Example, I want to look like Beyonce, so I'm going to wear this braids because it looks good on Beyonce. I don't care what the braid is for. I don't care if it doesn't look good on them. It must look good on me. That for me is appropriation. You're definitely abusing the idea of braids. You're not agreeing to the culture. You don't even know stuff about black people. You just want to wear the braids because you feel like it's aesthetic and it would look better on you. For me, that is appropriation. That is very wrong. There are some Filipinos that I know who just wants to wear braids because it looks better on them. They feel like for black people, it doesn't look good. So they feel like they can rock it better. Or they have a certain celebrity that they want to look like. They're white, but they want to look like this black artist that has braids. Same thing goes with dreads. Like guys who do dreads, it's because they want to look like Lil Wayne or something. Like it doesn't make sense to me. But that is like fetishing. And some people date black men or black women and they wear braids because they just want to look like the ideal couple. Like we have to sit our ass for like 18. Okay, that's too much. 8 hours. We have to sit our ass 8 hours to get the hair done. To get our braids done. It is so painful. You go through so much because we can't really take care of our natural hair because our natural hair is going through. Our natural hair is so kinky. You guys have no idea. So we don't always wear braids because we just want to look pretty in braids. Sometimes we don't even want to do braids, but because that's the only way to keep our natural hair, then we do braids. And that's for Africans. There's actually way more reasons Africans wear braids. Even Black Americans, most of them, their natural hair is like really puffy and it's just so hard to maintain. So we use braids to maintain it. And we would wear braids. People would say, you can't wear braids to this work or this shit because it's not nice. And then a white girl wears the braids and everyone's like, wow, it looks so good on you. Really? Same thing with like other cultures. Like when some people wear their certain culture or clothes, everyone's like, whack. But when someone else does it, it's like, wow, you look better with it. You don't classify culture stuff like that. That's completely inappropriate. Right, so can Filipinos wear braids? If you are wearing braids for the purpose that you appreciate braids and you want to, you want to take part of it and you totally deeply understand why we wear braids. Again, why we wear braids? Maintenance. Why we don't wear braids? Aesthetics. If we want to combine it, aesthetics and maintenance together, we have the right because it is our culture. But it's not your culture, so you cannot just wear it because you want to look black. Because that is disrespectful. I cannot wear this hair, which obviously a straight hair, though obviously a lot of black people do have straight hair, so you can't say this is part of your culture, I'm sorry to say. But I wouldn't just wear it because I want to look white. I wear it because I don't know how to take care of my natural hair and I just need it. And I understand very much who are allowed to have straight hair. And I know it's not limiting to white people. Pwede ba mag-braids ang mga Pilipino? Depende sa dahilan. Depende kung naiintindihan nila kung bakit sila nagbe-braids. O hindi lang dahil gusto nila magmukhang, alam mo yun, black, o magmukhang ibang lahi. Or gusto nila magsabi na parang, mukha na akong negra, no? I've heard people say that. Annoying. So I think I've said a lot about cultural appropriation. Nasa inyo na yun kung gusto niyo talagang intindihin. So kung magbe-braids kayo, siguraduhin niyo dahil alam niyo naman kung bakit kami nagbe-braids. Kasi kailangan namin i-maintain yung buhok namin. At hindi dahil gusto lang namin magpaganda. Kasi hindi din madali mag-braids. Hindi mura ang braids. Braids is very expensive. Okay? Even black culture, we should respect it. Because a lot of people overlook black culture because black people always get ridiculed for our own things. Like, when we wear dreads, mukha daw kami madumi, we look rough, we look this. Pero when white people do it, maganda. Most other majority don't experience that. Like, most other cultures don't experience what we black people experience. Kasi we're really, really, really going through a lot when it comes to our culture. Kasi we went from, like, people hating our skin color, not wanting to wear our clothes, not wanting to put our hair on and thinking we look like weirdos, to people actually using it for their aesthetic purposes. It sucks. It really hurts. So I totally understand people who are really, really strict against, people wearing braids or against cultural appropriation. But my last key word is, as long as you appreciate it, it's not an appropriation. But if you appropriate it, then there's no appreciation there. Don't ever confuse those two.
So if you want to do braids, by the way, let me plug in here, Cyrus Braids. You can contact them if you want to do braids, if you're Filipino or whatever you are. This is for people based in the Philippines, by the way. If you're in Atlanta or you're in, Georgia and you want to do this, I don't know, go to your local braid store. But if you're Filipino or an African who wants to get your braids done, Cyrus Braid is the answer. This is not paid, by the way. This is not advertisement.
That is all for today's video. Hindi ko nag-wrap ako ngayon. Pero kasi gusto ko lang talaga maintindihan yun na talaga. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. That is all. Bye!